Good morning, citizens of Nigeria. Last week, we read about the release of 7 young men who brutalized and then murdered Mrs. Bridget Ahaneme, an Igbo lady living in Kano State. Some say she was beheaded, but the government quickly refuted such claim. A claim we all know most often is possible, and a long prescription for those who committed the crime she was accused of. Mrs. Bridget died exercising her most basic constitutional right, the right to speak freely, or free speech. Her comments were elevated to a level that constituted a crime punishable by death in Islam, blasphemy. We all know what the word blasphemy means in the English dictionary. Every religion, including Christianity, has what it considers as forbidden. But unfortunately, only Islam takes our daily comments, sometimes speaking with anger, to a daily threshold. And to make matters even more perplexing and heartbreaking, this is happening in a secular democratic nation. A nation where the rule of law and the Constitution only clearly forbids and equally prescribed penalty for those who commit any kind of killings. So it is not an overstatement to say that Ms. Bridget's killing desecrates and undermines our very constitution, our rule of law, but the nation remains unapologetic, even apathetic, over such gross, heinous crime, and even goes further to reward the culprits by granting them an open amnesty and freedom to commit again and again. The very underpinnings necessary to nurture our young democracy are now threatened by a supervised lawlessness and approved non-judicial death penalties, and they say we have a true national government. And if we do, Mrs. Bridget's death deserves punishment as much as we punish those who loot our treasury, those who rob and kill us on our highways and our lowways. If our nation must endure, if it must have a good cadence marching towards progress, no religion must provide an excuse or camouflage for any kinds of crimes, especially heinous crimes. Muslims and non-Muslims in Nigeria must submit to one rule of law and one constitution. That is how democratic nations live and die, and not by this very cruel and unusual reason and means. How long will the nation and the region endure when the Fulani herdsmen are freely roaming around Nigeria and other West African nations, forcing and taking land and property, killing, looting, and burning out villages and towns? Is there an insidious war of conquest that our government is sponsoring, but yet distracting us with war on corruption to get international community support? We need to know, because we are beginning to add 2 and 2, and we are arriving at a very disturbing answer. Our federal government should not remain silent, but must address our concerns. As Nigerians, we deserve to know the legal basis for the release of those who killed Mrs. Bridget. The kind of arguments offered by government prosecutors on behalf of her, and a written judgment by the Honorable Judge in Kano, and the federal government to appeal such reckless judgment. The government should move the case to Abuja and try with a different set of prosecution team and an ethnically independent judge. That would be just the prelude to assuaging our anger and our justified mistrust in both the Kano State and federal government. Or take the risk of ignoring the simmering hearts of men in the southeast that could lead to vengeance on innocent citizens. A meaningful response by the federal government is necessary at this time. Let Mrs. Bridget be the last sacrificial lamb for a much more peaceful coexistence. This is 2016. Religion is no excuse to any kind of crime. We ask for true justice and a long deliberate federal government investment in re-educating men and women of Islamic faith that religious belief and values cannot be acted upon in this new republic. It sets a dangerous precedent. Regions are not going to sit still and repeatedly watch their citizens hunted down and punished with death over actions clearly within their freedoms and clearly within our laws. It's only a matter of time before such actions inhibit the peace of regions and the peace of the nation. And that's why our federal government must always act promptly in eradicating this deeply rooted cancer in the minds of Muslim youth, that violence is the only response to actions by non-Muslims. Mrs. Bridget's death is not an aberration. Killings in the name of Allah are happening more than they are reported. And I understand why governments try to conceal this fact. But I believe that the only way to resolve it is by shining more light on it. We Christians do not limit our beliefs and values to the teachings of Jesus Christ. And if our Muslim siblings could equally go far and above to God and our Allah, they will clearly arrive at the truth that we are all united and bound by one Creator whose divine instruction is that we must not kill. You cannot heed the words of Muhammad and dishonor the commands of God. We should all seek to place God first, and I believe when we do so, we can then be true children of God. This is the absolute truth, and I call on all Muslims and I call on all non-Nigerians to take this to heart. Thank you, and may God bless you.